Everybody's talking about tax rates going up. There's debates in Congress right now. What is there to do about it? That's what we're going to talk about on today's episode of Friends Talk Financial Planning. Hi, I'm John Shear, and I run a fee-only financial planning practice in Middleton, Wisconsin.
And I'm Bridget Sullivan Mermel, and I've got a fee-only financial planning practice in Chicago, Illinois. Today I'm with John Shear, though, in his office in Middleton, Wisconsin. So I just wanted to say thanks for having me in-person video.
Yeah, this is so great to have a chance to sit together in person and talk.
And the next thing I'm going to do is tell everybody to subscribe. So before we start talking about what to do about the upcoming tax increase or what people think is that, we wanted to say, hey, go ahead and subscribe.
That's right. Hit that subscribe button. And then I'm really interested, Bridget, to hear what you have to say about this. Is that I've been hearing a lot about with my clients, reading about it, trying to figure out what they're going to do in Washington. You ran a tax practice. You've got 25 years of experience in this. What are you telling people that they should be doing?
Well, people think that taxes are going to go up, and people don't like thinking that their taxes are going to go up. And so they feel a lot of uncertainty about taxes. And they think, gee whiz, what if my taxes go up and I retire and I don't have any money? What if I run out of money? Or other mind spirals that end up with, what if I run out of money? I don't want to lose all my money and run out of all my money. And taxes, I don't like paying the government. And that's going to be the source of my misery. So people don't like paying more in taxes. So we want to separate that from the reality of the current situation. And what I see is that there's an uphill legislative battle for any kind of tax increases to go in place. And there is, in my opinion, it's unlikely anything is going to happen as far as increasing taxes in a significant number of people before the year of 2026. And even after 2026, you'd probably be taking a better bet to bet against significant increases in taxes than for them. So, John, tell me what your thoughts are.
Well, we were talking a little bit before the show that it's been basically 30 years since any significant tax increases have happened, right? Back in the early 90s with things, some tax increases back in the 2000s on things. But one of the things that caught my ear about talking about in 2026, right? The last tax law change was a decrease in tax rates, but those will expire, right? So if nothing happens in Washington, then in 2026, taxes are going to change and they're going to go back to what they were before, which is an increase. So that's one of those interesting things that people forget, that if nothing happens, taxes are going to increase somewhat because of how it goes back to. And the other thing that strikes me, and I talk about with people, is, last year at this time when the elections were just happening and what's going to happen, and golly, everybody was certain that taxes were going to go up. And it goes back to that discussion. It's been a long time since tax rates have actually gone up. And what happens is often so much different than what we think is going to happen. And that's with investments, that's with, any number of things, and taxes are one of those. And one of the interesting things is, one of the biggest tax changes the last 20 or 30 years has been the advent of the Roth IRA, the Roth 401k, significant changes. And yet, as we were talking before the show, that before that law came into being, that was not talked about at all, right?
Right. That was just a back room. Okay. The policy people getting together.
Right. So sometimes the things that we think are going to be big deals aren't, and the things that we don't think are going to be big deals turn out to be. Right. And the bottom line is we have to wait until something happens, till we have something tangible. So that's one of the takeaways I'd have for this is there's lots of talk. It's been going on. Let's wait and see what, if anything, happens. To your point, maybe nothing happens, but it wastes a lot of energy to get excited and to make plans right now for a tax increase that may or may not happen. But what are some things that people can do right now? Are there some action steps you've been talking with people about?
Well, let's split those into two different camps. One is what I generally recommend, which is generally good tax hygiene, which is just looking at your taxes every year and saying, okay, am I making sure that I'm taking all the deductions that are allowable to me and not doing anything fancy? However, if you are in right before retirement years or right at the beginning of your retirement years, a lot of times there's adjustments you can take to accelerate taking some Roth or IRA distributions or making Roth conversions at those times, just to push you so that you're top of that tax bracket. Okay, so that's just stuff that's just the stuff that I always
I love
generally
that phrase,
recommend.
tax hygiene. I've not heard that one before. I'm gonna start adopting that. Tax hygiene, right?
Just
Stuff that you do all the
just the
time, right?
stuff that
Right.
the routine, no big drama on. Okay.
What about special things? Or is there
Okay,
anything
special
special?
thing,
Yeah.
the special thing that I want to mention is if you're really you tuned into this video because you want to know what to do because you're convinced the taxes really are going up, despite the fact that we just spent 5 or 10 minutes saying that, hold your horses, they might not go up. But let's say you are convinced, or you know more about your tax situation than I do, which is you absolutely do know more about your particular tax situation. So you might be in a situation where hey, my taxes are going up for specific reasons. So in that case, Roth conversions, contributing to a Roth, and contributing to a Roth 401k, if you have one, those are all places to go with some tax, putting money in those places.
And so that would be something like you get a new job and your tax rate's going up, right? Or maybe somebody was staying home with the kids. Now they're back in the workforce, and income is going to go up, and therefore tax are going up. Those sorts of things you're talking?
Absolutely. Or you just got a big promotion.
Yeah.
And your tax is going up. So sometimes people know this. So they know, hey, I'm making a lot more. Just like sometimes people know they're going to be paying less in taxes. So if that's the case for you, it's not just the sinking feeling because you think life is getting worse. And it's kind of an amorphous fear. I would say don't act on the amorphous fear, but if you do know, hey, my income's going up, and so my taxes are going up and I know it, then hit the Roths.
Yeah. And so just to circle back on those two things, what we're hearing that is, number one, it's not based on what goes on in Washington or other things. It's what's your personal situation. If your personal situation dictates it, yeah, do the Roth option, do some of those things. And then the other thing is, don't let the fear take over. Wait and see what happens. We don't know what might maybe happen, right? Wait till something happens before taking any action. Those are sort of the two takeaways I have from our discussion here today.
Great. So John, just to finish this up, two things we want to say. One is that we're both members of ACP, or the Alliance of Comprehensive Planners. It's a group of fee-only planners that operate all over the country. So if you like the way that you hear us talking about it, acplanners.org is a great place to check out. And the people in ACP know more about taxes than most advisors. So it's a great resource.
That's right. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and help other people find content like this. And with that, until next time.
Thanks, John.